due to your company. And then we also hear about maybe the possibility that if there's some sort of government option that it is going to, provide an opportunity to be lower. But, if we look at the way the government has run Medicare and the way the government has run the VA health system, we hear complaints in my office all day long coming in about the problems associated with their coverage from Medicare, or even, throw Medicaid in there too. And look what the costs have done there. The VA system alone in the last decade, we have doubled the expenditure, more than doubled the expenditure, at least in the last 8 years, or the last 9 years, to the VA system, and the costs just continue to go up. And there is a government-run healthcare system right there. So if you have a situation where, and I'll ask all of you, if you have a situation where you are mandated to provide that coverage, and those costs continue to go up, and even the government system, obviously, what is that going to do to you? And I guess some of you have already answered that. And it's unfortunate, too, because we haven't really gotten a chance to talk about the Chairwoman's bill and my bill with pooling, because I think that offers great opportunity. If you've got a business with 10 employees or 7 employees, and it's pretty hard to go out and get health insurance. But if you can pool together with 100 other businesses with 7 employees or 10 employees, your buying power just got a whole lot better. And it was touched on when, obviously, too, when you talked about medical malpractice reform, which is a huge cost driver. But I guess, we're kind of talking today about these mandates, and I just want what's the one thing it's going to do? Are you going to be able to stay in business, or are you just going to quit business? Are you going to drop employees? What are you going to do? Just a quick answer. If you're mandated to do this, and I don't see any reason why costs are going to be contained just because the government has an option out there. I think it's going to make it worse. We'll start with you, Mr. Thompson.
Ranking Member, I think that we would continue to do everything in our power to keep our headcount down, reduce our employment levels. We may invest in more technology than we already have, but obviously, if healthcare costs rise, we just look at every other way we can continue to maintain our business and keep reducing the employee costs, which means we're going to hire less people and lay people off and reduce our headcount on a continuing basis. I don't want to do that. I've been in my community for nearly 115 years. My family started the business. I have deep ties. I want to hire people. I want to hire a lot of people. It's one of the stakes in our business. I have shareholders that I have, or stakeholders. I have the community. They are stakeholders. So we want to do this, but we don't have any choice. I have to be profitable. I have to report to shareholders the demand that we be profitable and don't lose money. So we'll do whatever we can, and if it means cutting headcounts, that's what we'll have to do. But it pains me terribly. It's the worst thing I could possibly do in my business, and I don't want to do that.
Mr. Nicholson?
Yeah, I guess we're talking about mandates as if it is, without getting into the details of how you administer the mandates. And I think we have to look at some of those if we're going to examine a mandate program. But one of the things, for instance, that we have done when we ran into a similar situation where we were going to take a government contract, which we eventually decided not to, we looked into one of the problems was that we realized we had to go out and hire independent contractors to get accomplished what we were going to do. And that took them off our payroll so that we could then meet some of the federal restrictions on payroll and cost plus and so on and so forth. I suspect that if we end up with some sort of an employer mandate, there's going to be an awful lot of looking closely at all of the little tiny details. And to me, the way you handle that, if I were in your shoes, would be to require the private insurers to have the mandate restrictions, but let them negotiate with us employers, so that we can then not get into trying to find a way around this or that and make responsible for getting the various objectives accomplished by what you want to have done.
Well, I believe if we get a mandate and we keep the private insurers working like are working until now, we will have to close our business, our small business. I wouldn't be able to afford that mandate in that way. But I want to insist that the public option would be one extra choice. I want to competition for private options, and I think if we can lower the cost of the insurance, 47 million people would be recruited to the system, and I think that would be good not only for public for the public option, but also for the private insurers. This would be a really good business for everybody. And in that case, a mandate would be possible. We are willing to put a part in this process as small businesses. But if we don't have a real choices, well, that would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could probably live within a mandate as long as the prices didn't increase, but I don't think that's a guarantee that, those costs for health care are going to be maintained at a reasonable rate, unless there is a regulation covered that sets that. And short of that, our company cannot, and we can't afford what we're paying now, let alone paying more. And yes, our company is in the medical business, not the insurance side of it, because what we're making are the leading edge devices that are used by researchers for scientific advancement, and in particularly the medical field, and particularly in the neurological area. If we can't keep our engineering staff and our existing shop staff to manufacture new devices, let alone continuing to make the existing ones, then, our purpose and our service to this country and the rest of the world is basically voided.
Sure.
I think one of the great things about this country and regarding what I do in hospitality and food service is the great quality and diversity and safeness of our food, the way we serve it. I think in my business, not necessarily mine, we use all fresh ingredients and we prep there, we prep locally, we use our staff. I think you would find people either cutting services, perhaps cutting quality, perhaps losing attention to safety. Now, not in my business, but I think that those things would happen. And I think people would, now you've got drive-in, carry-out, home delivery, walk-up, sit-down, fine dining. I think you'd find a great consolidation of all those things in products and services, and our variety would be lost, I think. Secondary to just cutting employees. I mean, where you had 8 employees doing a job, you spend all your time finding a way to have 5 done it, have it automated, to outsource it. Nobody likes outsourcing. But, the math is just the math. And hopefully this Small Business Committee, I know this is not healthcare discussion, but I just feel compelled to bring it in. Hopefully you look at the holistic things that are happening in small business right now, many of the proposals, including card check and those kind of things. I mean, they have merit in your consideration on how much weight a small business can take. And healthcare is a high cost. I'm very proud of the healthcare we provide. Like I say, I don't have any pilferage. My employees stay with me. I get my money back. It is a great investment. To invest in the employee versus the building. But I think you'll find a real suffering in our quality and delivery and safety.
Thank you.
Ms. Clark.